Hi guys, so today I'm going to be crocheting with you guys, and right now I am outside. So just a side note, if you hear someone's actually driving their lawnmower down the street, so you may hear a little bit of noise and a little bit of traffic, but it's such a beautiful day outside and I wanted to crochet and talk with you guys. So I lately have been making some really cute granny squares, and they're not the traditional granny squares that you usually see. They're a little bit different, and this is what they look like. They're so pretty. I just think they're just really different and girly. I want something a little bit... I actually wanted to find a pattern that did a circle and then turned it into a square, and I happened to find this one on Pinterest, and I just thought it was so cute. It's adorable. And so I'm actually using this huge skein of yarn, and I'm making an overall dress made out of these squares. So we're gonna see how it turns out. I'm really excited about it. And by the way, this is just the Pound of Love by Lion Brand, and it's in the shade Denim if you're kind of curious about what yarn I'm using. And I will be doing a yarn review on this very soon, but of course I want to make my project first so I can kind of get a feel for it. I want to sit down and talk with you guys while I worked on this granny square and just kind of talk to you guys about some things that have been on my mind lately and talk a little bit about granny squares and also some other things. So let's just start crocheting. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was, of course, granny squares. And I noticed that the two kind of granny square-ish projects I have posted recently, and that'd be my vest and my hexagon flower blanket, I've noticed that those two have gotten quite a bit of views, more than my other videos, and I was kind of thinking about it, and I'm like, man, it's so true though. Granny squares kind of define our summer feel. If you look at any of the crochet books from the 70s, all of them have to do with granny squares. So it's been very popular even back in the 70s, and even if you look at, I believe, even the 60s, you notice that granny squares very much dominated the crochet world. Usually you'd see granny square blankets. I mean, I've seen a lot of granny square items out there, which are really awesome, and I've kind of been seeing a little bit more of a modern take on that too, which is really exciting. So that's why I kind of thought that I would make a overall dress, just because it's kind of different. I haven't seen anybody else really do it out of squares. I saw a vintage granny square. It was overalls, but it wasn't a dress. It was overall shorts, which was really cute. So I think I'd be really uncomfortable to make an overall pair of shorts, just because the way I saw that they were designed, I think they would not fit right, which could be a little bit of a problem. But I mean, I'm down to trying it eventually one day. But I thought an overall dress would be a little bit easier and definitely would be cute for spring and summer. So we're going to see how it turns out, and of course once I finish it I will put the pattern out there for you guys, so if you guys want to make an overall dress, you'll be able to. But I was just thinking about that. Granny squares really much have dominated the crochet world even since for about 50 years now, which is really cool that you can kind of see crochet and know that you can see a granny square and know that it had been crocheted. And another thing that kind of going in with crochet granny squares and stuff like that is, you know, one thing I really think that people should talk more about is how crochet and knitting, how they're a form of art. I don't think a lot of people view them as art at all. Other people do, I think, that are creative and are in this, I don't really want to use the word industry, but in this community of crocheting and knitting, I think a lot of people do view it as an art, and I think you should view it as an art, because you're taking something as simple as yarn and a crochet hook or some knitting needles, and you're creating something that's from your mind or from a pattern that you love, and you're sitting down and you're actually creating it yourself, which is so cool if you think about it and see how the benefits of it too, of being able to use your creative side, use color. It's kind of like painting in a way. You use the color of yarn that you want to use, which is like your paint, and then you look at your and you start creating literally like your canvas, and you use your paintbrush and everything. It's really amazing if you think about what you're truly doing. And I think there are some crochet and knitters out there who don't realize what they're doing. They just kind of think of it, oh, it's a hobby, like whatever, and they don't view it as an art when it truly is an art. I kind of was thinking, because I used to kind of be that way, of thinking, I don't really think of it as an art. I think it's just a hobby. It's just something I do, like whatever. One day I was thinking how I really, really wanted to learn how to paint, because that's what artists do. And I kind of clicked with me that I do a form of art. Art is not just paints. It's not just creating a picture. Art can be also, it can be a shirt. It can be a dress, a skirt. It can be a blanket. Art comes in so many different forms, and I really think a lot of people don't realize that they're literally creating art with their hands. So I really encourage you guys to more think of your crochet, your knitting as an art, because it truly is. If you really sat down and thought about it, you're sitting down and you're creating something. Even if it's a pattern of somebody else, you're still sitting down creating something, and something you did not have before. Kind of like a painting of a picture. You did not have that picture, that painting, before it was made. Once it was made, you had it. It's same with your t-shirt, your sweater, your blanket, your purse. All those things you can crochet and knit. So I just really encourage you guys to kind of view your projects a little bit differently and think of yourself more as an artist rather than just a crocheter and knitter. But you're also an artist. You're not just a crocheter, you're a crocheter and an artist. I mean, how amazing is that? You take colors and you make them your projects unique because you like them. You're making them your own. So I just really encourage you guys to start thinking of it a little bit differently. But I know I didn't even get that far on my granny square. I got a circle. But I really just want to talk to you guys about that and really just kind of pour my heart out to you guys, because I see that around a lot and it really bothers me, because I'm like, no guys, don't think of it as just, I'm just crocheting. Like, you're an artist, you're expressing yourself. It's so important. I really hope you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!